today we're going to go over all of my secrets. I'm going to share it all with you guys. I'm going to put it all on the line. Let me record. Today's all about how to scale your practice immediately and cut your admin time without going in circles with the wrong tools, without making my mistakes. I want to prevent you from making the mistakes that I've made. We have this thought process that we can't do these things. We can't take days off. We can't leave the practice earlier. We can definitely not let the phone go to voicemail. We can't do it without staff, right? We can't find the right staff. We can't grow to our full potential. And these are all the stories that we start to tell ourselves. And I am going to say that if this sounds like you, if these are things that you say regularly, this training is for you. If you feel like you've got it going on, if you're going to throw eggs at my face for teaching you a new way of doing things, if you really don't have the bandwidth to implement changing your practice right now, whether it's time change, put energy towards changing your practice, or even financial investment in your practice, this training isn't for you. So here's what I'm going to promise you. I'll deliver you my whole heart. I'll deliver it to you. I'll teach you everything I've got. And you will learn from the mistakes that I've made, and I make them every day. And I also create the solutions for them. So I may fall down 91 times a day, but 92 times a day I get up. And with 26 years under my belt of being in private practice, I've learned a thing or two, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. At the end of the presentation, not before it, I'm going to show you how you can hire my team. If you're already a client, that's when you can hop off. If you have no interest in hiring my team, that's when you can hop off. I will not sell to you before then, but I will give you a heads up. All right, guys, this is when I'm going to give you my pitch. And I promise you that you're going to learn something new. And here's what I ask in return. I want you to understand that the foundation of everything I talk about and everything I do is all based on honoring time, energy, money exchange. Time, energy, money of you, time, energy, money of your family, time, energy, money of your practice members. Those are the three commodities that we're in exchange with. I want you to show up ready. I want you to listen to this training ready to take notes and write stuff down and screenshot. We're going to drop a bunch of freebies in the chat today too. Or if you're watching the replay, you'll see the buttons below. Take advantage of the things that I'm giving you. I promise you they're going to take you far. Please keep your sound off. And if I do ask you to participate, go ahead and raise your hand and participate with me. A couple of tips. Some of us watch masterclass or trainings every day. Some of us are never on Zoom. So you don't want to have a whole lot of tabs open. It will get confusing and overwhelming. Definitely be prepared to take some notes. And I promise you, if you're live with me, we will get to your questions. If you're watching the recording, there should be a button below showing you where you can reach out to get your questions answered. And we'll be about an hour. We're not going to go over an hour. So we're going to go over the following. We're going to talk about the common mistakes that we see come up over and over again when people are trying to grow their practice and how to avoid those mistakes. We're also going to go through solutions for saving time and money on practice admin while you're growing the practice. And again, I'm not going to sell to you. So if you're nervous that this is another sales training, it's not. I'm just sharing from my heart with you today. There will be a lot of gifts, as I shared earlier. I love to give people things. It's always been one of my favorite things to do. So we have a lot of freebies, or what we call lead magnets, and we're going to be sharing a lot of those lead magnets with you today. So please be prepared to grab the links that we drop if you're watching us live. And here's the first one. You're about to learn a lot from me. And I'm about to introduce you to a new way of seeing practice in 2026. The best thing that you can do right now is take inventory of how you're currently doing, right? So the best way to set goals for your health is to take inventory of how your health is currently doing, and then to set the goals accordingly. This audit, and Sheena, if you can drop this in the chat, This audit will give you a view, an overall healthy view of how your marketing is showing up to the world, how your messaging, your branding is showing up to the world. Half of practice growth happens while you're sleeping. It happens on autopilot. And if we're looking at that half, some of it is if you've been around for a while, you've earned a reputation on Google. Some of it might be that you throw ad spend at Google or what AI or whatever the powers that be are, right? This is going to take a look at how healthy that picture is for you. We're also going to look at how your website is taking care of the website piece. If your social media is taking care of the social media piece, this is what we're going to do in this audit. So if you want to skip the audit, you can also at any time during this training jump into a call with me, call@drjody.com. Okay, so let's say that if you know me and you know my world, you know that I do a lot of training. And I'm actually just starting the training for a half marathon this spring. And if I want to start a training for a half marathon, I can absolutely wing it. And I can make all the mistakes when it comes to what do I wear? Do I eat while I'm running? How do I hydrate well? What if I have a fall while I'm running and it's a long run day? Do I stretch before, during, after? What music lists do I want to listen to? These are all the things that I can figure out on my own, or I can ask my friends, the people who I trust, who run, what they do. I can take the shortcut without losing the authentic experience of being a runner, because I trust them. And I know that if they've got a music list, I'm going to love it because I love them, right? I know that if they figured out what to eat while they're running, if they figured out an energy pack that's healthy, that's not going to hurt my body, I'm going to trust them because we're cut from the same cloth. I promise you, what I'm about to teach you is born from the things that I have learned in practice and the things that I have seen other people succeed and fail at. Whether it's how to deal with the phone, the schedule, the rules, what to do if somebody's in your waiting room, if you have a waiting room, asking personal questions about time, energy, money, what to do with your email, your inbox, what music to play in your office, all of these things, I'm going to share my heart with you so that you don't have to figure it out and take what you like and leave the rest. If it sticks, then run with it. Anything that I share here today is yours for the taking. I have been in practice actually 26 years on Valentine's Day. And I've written 4 books. I've participated in 5 books, and I am constantly figuring things out. Falling down, getting back up, falling down, getting back up. So I have coined myself an expert mistake maker and solution creator. I spend about 6 hours a week these days in my office, if that. And I'll see around between 40 and 60 people a week. That's a healthy estimate of my practice these days. I don't even think I'm spending an hour on admin in the office. And actually, I don't even do that hour. My admin team does it for me. I do have a team, and they're on the other side of the world, and they would run circles around me in all things admin because they're so good at it. All I need to do these days, and if you've been around for a minute, you know what I'm talking about, is look in the direction of my practice and it grows. If I want my practice numbers to go up, I just take a look at it. I maybe have a couple of conversations and my numbers go up. If I want my practice to get quiet, and sometimes that's true, I'll do the same thing. I'll just calm myself and I won't put so much energy in my practice. I also have an entire online school. We run a full service marketing and practice efficiency agency, and I've taught thousands of practitioners how to do what I do. It has not always been that way. So I'm going to get personal with you for a minute. And Sheena, if there's anything that comes up, like if I need to see a message, you can go ahead and just unmute and say, Jody, this thing is happening right now. So in spring of 2019, it was actually winter of 2019 before the pandemic hit. Um, my best friend at the time was my office manager. And I had probably at that time spent $150,000 over the years on coaching, learning how to do this with money, this with patient visits, this with education, and also investing in myself as a business coach for a community in chiropractic that I know, hold near and dear to my heart. So I had been around the block. I had put my time and money in, and my office manager is my best friend, and she quit. And when she quit, it broke, not only did it break, it broke something in me. It broke my heart. It broke my confidence. I didn't know the systems of my practice. I didn't have my finger on the pulse of the admin. And I came home and I was really upset. My kids were in their early teens at that point. And if you ever want a humility check, you ask your teenagers what they really think of you, right? And they thought it would be fun while I'm sitting on the couch bawling my eyes out to count how many front desk people had quit mom's office that they could remember. And at this point, I had been in practice over 20 years, so they only knew about 10 years worth of people, maybe tops. And they had counted 33. There was that number. They counted 33 people who they could remember had quit mom's office, because that's how bad I was at managing and running a team. At one point, I had cameras in my office because I knew that the people working for me were stealing from me. It was really bad. And this was not a piece that I knew how to do. I just never learned it. And I promised myself, with the humiliation that I was feeling in that moment, that I would never end up in this position again. I was going to do things really well in my practice. I wanted to stay busy. At that time, I was seeing between 100 and 120 patient visits a week. And I figured it out. I figured out how to take the phone, the schedule, the email, the hours, the money, the questions, all of the things that were necessary to run my practice efficiently and joy-filled without staff. And I got really good at it. And then overnight, the world changed. People were leaving work. They were quitting front desk positions. They didn't want to come to a wellness practice office anymore because they were afraid to be around people. This is the first time we had ever seen this in our lifetime. And when I was going through this transition, I was really vocal about, you guys, check out this thing I just figured out with my phone. This is so cool. I had no idea where it was going, but everything I learned, I wrote down, because that's how I could remember it and commit it to memory and get really good with it, right? And when this started happening, when the world started changing, my friends started reaching out to me, just friends that I went to school with, saying, Jody, I know you just figured something out with your phone. My office manager just quit. I don't know what to do. And at that point, I was using Grasshopper, and you had to like dial 0 to do this, 1 to do this, 2 to. There were all these fragmented systems that we were working with me and my angels were working with in my office. And I started teaching my friends. I'm like, sure, I can share this with you. I actually wrote it down. I'll send it over to you. That was actually the birth of the book Staffless. It's all of the things weaved together with stories of what I had figured out. So I wrote the book Staffless, and then I started teaching people the concepts of Staffless. And then we started putting together some of the content from my coaching days, and the birth of Staffless Practice Academy came to be. And we still got to a point a couple of years ago where we were coaching and we were teaching, and I had a staff now. It grew, it got bigger, and everything was still fragmented. I was still using the phone with all the buttons. I was still doing this for email, this for e-blast, this for my courses, this for my text messages, this for my marketing. And I felt like it was all over the place. And I spent a few months, probably upwards of 60 hours, learning a program called Go High Level. And no matter how much I tried and spent time with their tech team and in Zoom calls and listening to YouTube videos, I couldn't make it beautiful and I couldn't make it streamlined. And I just kept throwing it out, throwing it out, throwing it out. Until one day somebody said, hey, I happen to know this developer for High Level. Why don't you just have a meeting with her? She's not working for them anymore, and see what you can put together. So I went from the couch to the book Staffless and my practice crushing it without staff, to putting my systems together and coaching, to fragmented wanting a solution for all things in one place, to having that conversation. And I said, this is exactly what I want. I want it to be beautiful. I want it to be HIPAA compliant. I want all of my things on one screen. I want it to be easy. I want it to be one click ready. And she said, sure, I can do that. And that was the birth of the practice suite. So this is the trajectory of all of the things that have happened. And I had these amazing people walk through this. Just some of you guys have been with me since the beginning, and you were the first people in a suite, or you were the first people to get my book, and then book 2, and then book 3 and book 4. So here's what happens these days. It feels like I'm at the office when I'm not. Right now, if somebody calls my office, they get greeted by a text message. All of it is automated. I don't have to think about it anymore. All of my systems are in one place. I have one screen, one password, one SOP deck. What's an SOP? A standard operating procedure, a script on how to do everything in the office. Everything is compliant. It's easy to hand over. I have time, money, freedom when it comes to my practice. I don't mess things up with the wrong automation with my practice. Sometimes I do a Staffless because I hit the wrong button. You may receive that every once in a while. Like, I'll send David a text saying, hey, Jody, I hope your day's going great, because I'll screw it up, right? And all of my socials are consolidated too. I do grow my practice on social media when I want to grow it, and it's all in one screen. So even as we sit here, this is a typical day in my office. This is what it looks like. It's all being cared for. I don't have to worry about that part. You know, I had this story for a long time that practice had to be hard. It had to be difficult. And I learned at a very early age, watching mentors in my life growing up, that you had to work really hard. You could be successful and you could crush it in business, but it needed to be your life. It needed to be hard. And what I've learned is that my practice is the easy part. It's joyful. It's simple. It feels good. And that's possible for you too. And I'm going to show you how. So over the last 2 weeks, I want you to take a minute and look back on what you did, how you spent your time when it comes to fueling your practice. What were some of the things that you did that were not the best use of your time? Sheena, you can drop the time exercise in the chat. You guys, here's your second gift. If I was going to pay somebody $1,000 an hour, which is what I charge for my consulting these days, and I found out that they were doing $8 an hour items, I would fire them. If I hired somebody who I was paying $8 an hour to, and I found out that they were doing things that were worth $50, $60, $70 an hour to me, I'd probably give them a raise and ask them to work more hours. How many things have you done in the past 2 weeks that are not worth your time? So go ahead and walk through the time exercise. Look at how you're spending your time, map it out, start drawing conclusions on where the pockets are being wasted when it comes to time, energy, money. Some of my friends are geniuses and they have a lot of brain power, but not a whole lot of common sense. And how I mean that is they'll be able to create calculations and really complicated thought patterns and structures and all of these things, but they'll spend an hour trying to pick out shoelaces on Amazon because they think to They think too hard even with the simplest things. So I invite you, I urge you to look at this exercise and look at how your time is being spent. If you're a client of ours, put it in front of us. If you're not a client of ours, book some time with me and let's go over it together. Let's look at the pockets that are being wasted. Okay, enough said. So here we go. 3 massive mistakes to avoid when growing the practice and streamlining your systems. If you're not trying to grow your practice, and some of you aren't, you can replace growing the practice with growing yourself or growing your health or growing your family, whatever it might be. Here's how to honor your time, energy, money exchange. Mistake number 1, using too many programs for practice systems. We think that it's going to be another software program that's going to fix the problem. I can't tell you how many people show up in my Zoom who say, I want to buy the practice suite because I have to fix my staffing issue. No, you guys, it doesn't work that way. A software program is not going to fix your problems. It's going to streamline you, but you're probably going to still end up with the same patterns unless you go to the root of them. Having the right software program is going to streamline texting, scheduling, website, phone, email, e-blast, social posting, faxing, and marketing. Those are all of the things that you can automate, that you can make in one screen, right? And then if you look at where you normally spend, like if we look at this list, a typical practice is going to be spending up to $2,000 a month on software for all of these things. That's where I'm saying the mistake is being made. You can have one software platform for all of these things. Once a month, I actually did it this morning, and this is a really great suggestion for you guys, especially if you're new in practice. Print out, like go old school on it, print out your bills. Print out your credit card statement and your bank statement. Take a look at all of the automatic payments that are going through that maybe you signed up for because you wanted to watch the movie on Roku, right? And you signed up for a $12 subscription to Roku, whatever it might be. I promise you there are memberships and accounts that you're paying for every month, especially if you don't look at this regularly, that you don't need to be paying for. You can have one bill for all of the things that you're seeing on the screen right here for about $500 a month. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So a lot of us have these messages, like the first slide that I showed you of how scary change can be. You could do this wrong. You might not have the bandwidth for change. And I will be honest with you, if you have a meeting with me and you're saying to me, I'm thinking about making this change for my practice, I'll tell you if it's a premature change for what I've experienced, okay? What if your practice doesn't accept the changes? Some of the people who end up in my Zoom have a practice filled with people who don't text. So a texting solution for communication for your practice is not the solution. It has to fit your practice. If no change is made, think about the bills that will stack up. If I didn't make a change for a staffless practice using the fragmented system, I probably would have spent another $10,000 last year on software programs than what I actually did. So let's keep going. Oh, you know what? This is a really good one. Here's your next gift. Whenever there's a big project to be done in my world, I like to zoom out and I like to break it down into stages. So if we have these days, the only clients that I work with are industry leaders. They're the people who are running the communities, whether it's in chiropractic or PT or whatever it is. And the changes they want for their community are huge. So we take it in stages, right? Stage 1 is stop the bleed. Stage 2 is integrate. And stage 3 is thrive with the change. That would be a typical staging system for an industry leader's order, okay? With any project that you're working on, like I'll do this if I'm writing a new book, I go to stage 3 and say, here's what I want to have done when the book is done. I want to have it on Amazon. I want the cover to match my brand, whatever it might be. I want all of these things. Here's my wish list. That is stage 3. your wish list and you experiencing the world with your wish list. Stage one is where your feet are now. Right now, I just have ideas. I have some notes. I have some pieces of paper that I want to work with. What do I need to do to get from stage one to stage three? You can do the same thing with health goals. Let me just lower my hand because that's going to annoy me. You can do the same thing with really any big change you want to make, whether it's a relationship change, break it down into stages. It won't feel so overwhelming. So there's the gift for stages there for you. Okay. I do love testimonials. If you guys love what we do, if you've experienced it, share it with the world. Share it on Facebook, share it on socials, share it with me, and we'll put it in this training. You have this amazing ability to see potential where others may see problems. This client actually didn't want to share her name, but your heart for finding solutions and helping others flourish is such a beautiful gift. It means a lot. So every time we hear something like this, I don't think, oh, I'm doing such a good job. I'm thinking, I'm tapped in, I'm in flow, and I'm connected to what the next piece is. When somebody tells you, you're such a great chiropractor, you're such a great therapist, whatever it is that your craft is, it's not about you. It's about them and their experience and what you're presenting them with, right? So if somebody says this to me, of course I say, I am that I am, thank you very much. I also say it if it's an insult, I am that I am, thank you very much. But right back at you, look at your potential. Look at your ability to see the good in others. I just kind of went off on a riff on testimonials there, but you get the point. Mistake number 2. This is a big one. Automating what shouldn't be and not automating what should be. Okay, let's dive into this one. The rule of thumb with automation is automating with ease for ease. Your automations should create a more easeful process for you in practice. They shouldn't be stressing you out. Here are the things that can be automated with ease for ease. Phone messages, texting, emailing, practice growth, nurturing leads before, during, and after visit 1, taking care of missed phone calls, reactivations, giving, this is a big one, guys, giving a tour of the office to new practice members and asking for reviews. Also, you can add birthday cards, you can add singing to people, singing birthday songs, whatever you want. So anything that you do or say over and over and over again, that should be on your list for automations. That's the rule of thumb. Anything you say or do over and over and over again are the things that you want to automate for the practice. Here's what needs the human connection, and this is where I see people go wrong with this, especially myself. I'm going to include myself here. The first experience with the office should not be automated. The first experience should be a connection. For us, we use a system called Lead Pilot. I'll talk about it in a few minutes. But you want that first connection. You want to make sure that by the time somebody comes to your office or comes to your Zoom, they're already a yes. You just need to show them where to sign because of the way that you've nurtured them. But when they get you, when they get your new patient advocate, whatever it might be, I want the connection to happen. I want that to be a real, authentic connection. And if you need to do personal work, if you need to meet with a mentor and learn how to have that connection, do it. It's worth its weight in gold. Getting feedback about the practice. Really important that it's not just an automated thing, that you have a tickler system in your practice on the 5th visit, on the 12th visit, on the 20th visit. Hey, John, how's it going? Tell me, how can I better serve you as your chiropractor? Show them that you care, right? Show them very clearly how much you care by taking 5 minutes and having that conversation with them. Educating for me is a big one. I am a very strongly philosophically based chiropractor. I have a love and a deep passion for the history of chiropractic. I want to make sure that all of my practice members check the box on knowing what I do and why I do it and how big it is. If this isn't a big thing for you, it may not be on your your personal connection list. It's a big thing for me. I don't want to send them an email and call it good. I want to have a conversation with them. I want to sit down with a cup of something lovely and say, let's talk about what a subluxation is. Let's talk about the Palmers. Let's talk about chiropractic and the history of it. Let's talk about the safety pin cycle. This shows up with every one of my practice members with me holding a conversation with them. And then the promises that we make to our practice members shouldn't be automated, should be a personal connection, as well as check-ins. If someone leaves your office and that was their first visit with you and you're not quite sure if they walked out with a spring in their step, like really understanding what you do, it's worth picking up the phone in 2 hours and saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Let's make sure that we got off to the right start. Okay, so this is the human connection piece. I'm going to keep going. So without the right tools, what happens is those wheels keep spinning and you'll have this revolving door in your office and they'll come in and they'll leave because they don't feel connected to you. And I'm telling you what people need these days in 2026 when it comes to growing a practice is they need to feel connected to you. They need to feel like you see them, they see you, and that connection is there. Okay, next testimonial. It's great to have a plan in place and a real connection with my practice. There is a balance, and I feel like I've realized it. A lot of this, Barb specifically, a lot of our clients will come to us and they're towards the end of their career and they're thinking about selling their practice, but they know that somebody coming out of school isn't going to want to practice in the condition that they have it. So they'll hire us to upgrade their systems to make things more automated to get things 2026 ready. Okay, mistake number 3, using outdated systems. Let's go there. So here are some of the things that we see often, and these are the things that concern me. Using a cell phone for the practice, like having it on you all the time and answering your phone every time somebody calls you, answering every call, having people pay a lot of money to come in to listen to you talk about you and your deal. They're not coming in to listen to you talk, guys. They're coming in for connection. And usually the connection happens when less words are said. Hiring the wrong people because somebody has to do it. Not being compliant. This is a big one in 2026. Hiring when you don't need a person, you need a system. And this is huge, listening to people who are not succeeding. I can listen to somebody who attempted to do a half marathon in less than 6 hours and didn't make it. I can listen to them and take advice on what not to do, but I'm not going to listen to them and take advice on what to do. Listen to people and take advice from people who are successful with the thing that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. The truth is, let me go back. Sometimes change is hard and you think you need to answer every call. You're afraid to let go of the control, let go of the reins. You're afraid that they're going to stop coming in. You're afraid that it's going to stop. This is where you trust people who have come before you. I took over my mom's practice, and to say it's old school is an understatement. I'm so happy to have clear direction to bring this amazing practice up to speed. I love that, Hannah. Okay, here's the next gift. As we start to go into the solution part of this training, I want you to think about who you're doing all of this for. And this is the perfect practice member gift. Sheena's dropping it in chat. It's also on the button if you're watching the replay. A lot of people will say, well, I just want to take care of moms and kids in my town. And what I'm going to say is that there are moms of all education backgrounds, all interest levels, all marital statuses, religions, personal beliefs, philosophical beliefs, nutrition beliefs. I want you to narrow it down so that you can say, if you're in an elevator and you have from floor 1 to floor 12 with one person, Who is that person? What's their age? What's their education? What's their interest? What book are they reading? What channel are they watching? What do they look up online? All of it. That's how clear I want you to get with this exercise. This is our perfect practice member exercise. I think you'll love it. So that when you do, if you do hire a marketing agency or a CA, a chiropractic assistant, or a office manager, it's so much easier to make decisions about who and how and when you know who you're building it for. Exactly who you're building it for. A 30-something mom with the time, energy, and resources to give more and do more for her family. That's my person. I know how old she is. I know the car she drives. I know where she shops. I know what groups she's a part of in my Facebook community, locally. All of these things are important. Okay, here we go. You ready for your number one tool? Can you guess what it is? The number one tool to cutting your practice admin time in half while you're growing your practice. Streamline what you can and figure out, these are the issues with my practice right now. Does the issue need a person or does the issue need a system? Usually the issue needs a system. So figure out with the phone, with new practice members, with questions that come up over and over again. Does it need a person or does it need a system? If the answer is system, let's talk about a few of those systems. If the answer is person, if you have a busy practice and you need a new patient advocate, or you need a 20-year-old in your community who is drinking the Kool-Aid of your practice to go out and shake hands and kiss babies for you, you want to make sure that you've got the right person to do that. If you have somebody sitting at your front desk, please hear me say this. If you have somebody sitting at your front desk, the assumption that every one of your practice members make is that she or he is a representation of your practice. Their health beliefs are a representation of your practice. Their grooming style is a representation of your practice. What they wear, what they smell like, how they talk, if they connect, all a representation of your practice. Whether or not it's true for you, that's what people see. If I go to the Ritz-Carlton and I check in after a long flight and I'm tired and I'm hungry and all of the things, I know that the person behind the counter is going to greet me with kindness. They're going to have a bottle of water and something to eat for me because they're representing the brand of the Ritz-Carlton. I know the same thing about your practice if somebody's sitting behind the desk. In my book, Staffless, I talk about the cold, hard chair weight. And it's a story of me going to the lady doctor during the pandemic. Without even saying hello to me, they put a thermometer on my forehead and gave me a mask to wear. And I waited for like 45 minutes. Nobody was looking or talking to each other in the waiting room. The person behind the desk had a pile of books this high. I couldn't see her face because she had a mask on too. Not that I have anything wrong with that, but she would move the mask to drink out of her Diet Coke, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And it hit me like, she's representing the practice. Do I want to be here? Do I want to trust this energy for the most intimate part of my health? So if you need a person, make sure you choose wisely. If you need a system, let's get into it. So I just want to say one more thing about the system. Generally speaking, the things that you need systems for at this point in the game is the phone, new practice members, and questions that come up. I'm going to repeat that. Generally speaking, the things that you need systems for is the phone, new practice members, and common questions that come up. They don't require a person, usually, okay? So the mom of 2026, for me, there was a moment when one of my practice is crazy. It's a zoo, and it's fun, but it's a zoo. And one of my moms was on the phone. She's walking and she's got her kids in tow, and my puppy runs up and is kissing her, and there are all kinds of things. She's late and she's on the phone and she's like, I gotta go, I'm at the chiropractor. And she got off the phone and I'm like, You call me the chiropractor? Like, you don't even call me Jody? Like, you don't say I'm going to see Jody or I'm going to Dr. Jody. You say I'm going to the chiropractor. That's how impersonal this is to you. And it right-sized me. I recognized in that moment that I'm just the chiropractor. I'm one of probably 52 things on her to-do list for the day. I'm somewhere in between diapers and bananas at the grocery store. Go to the chiropractor. That's the mom, or that's the shopper of wellness care in 2026. She has got so much to do. She doesn't want to have a phone call and hear about how great it is at your office today. She wants to text you. She wants to tell SIRI, text you know who, I'm running 10 minutes late. Is that okay? She doesn't want to call. She doesn't want to press 0 for this and 1 for this and 2 for this. She wants appointments to be reoccurring. She just wants you to tell her where the bar sits. She wants you to be ready when she shows up at your office to say, I want to see you twice a week for 4 weeks, once a week for 8 weeks. You can pay in full, or you can do monthly payments, or you can pay each time. Here's how easy it is. That's the mom of 2026. That's the practice member of 2026. You guys, there are always exceptions. So if you're thinking, well, my practice members want a phone call, I get it. Some people do, most don't. It annoys the dickens out of me when my dentist calls me to confirm my appointment. Don't call me, just shoot me a text. I'll let you know if I'm not coming. Okay, the goal is by the time they come to your office for their first visit, they're already a yes. They already know that you're their person. They already know that what you do is solve the problem that they think that they're coming to you with. I say that they think that they're coming to you with very intentionally. I don't fix problems as a chiropractor. It's not what I do. I release infinite expression of innate intelligence. I help the body best optimally perform, right? My people come to me with an agenda thinking that I do X, Y, and Z because of the way that they've been educated. By the time they come to my office, I want them to know Dr. Jody is who I'm looking for. I don't need to lay my agenda out for them. I need to make it clear, yes, I'm your person, or no, I'm not. If the problem that they're looking to solve is not something that I'm not a senior golf expert chiropractor. I'm going to send them to the guy down the street. I'm not going to fix the bunion on their heel. I'm a chiropractor. I'm going to send them to the guy down the street. I protect my time, energy, money, their time, energy, money, so that by the time they get to the office, it's already a yes. Okay, I want you guys to be on the same page with me about that. Let's keep going. So we talk about the lead pilot system. We're getting into like the nooks and crannies of the system, and I'm going to show you a few things. If you're standing in a rainstorm and you've got an umbrella, and you can take that person that's in the elevator with you and you can bring them under the umbrella, and you can bring maybe 5 of their friends with them, and you can hold the umbrella up while it's raining, and you can only tell them something while it's raining, and as soon as it stops raining, they leave your umbrella. You've got them for a few minutes. In reality, you have these people for a few seconds because that's how long the attention span of a 2026 consumer is in our part of the world. They're under your umbrella. What are you going to say to them? What are you going to show them? What are they going to listen to? What are they going to hear? What are they going to watch? What are they going to feel? I want you to plan all that stuff out. So you can do this through what's called a lead magnet. A lead magnet is, imagine me sending a signal out to you and you feel like this magnetic pull coming towards you. That magnet could be an article on the 12 things to do to get your abs strong after having a baby, or it could be a QR code that's offering a free meet and greet at your office, or something that doesn't cost them money and something that will collect their name and their email address. That's a lead magnet. Sometimes their phone number. That can be done through your signature in emails, through a QR code, through Facebook, Instagram, emails, through a poster on the wall of the OBGYN's office, and of course through ads, right? Through your Google listing, all of these things. This is where you can drop the signal of your lead magnet. Okay, let's keep going. So I want to make sure that your message is consistent. Whatever you're telling them under that umbrella, whatever your bird song is to your practice, your perfect person, one person in that elevator with you. What do you say? What do they hear? What do they watch? All of it, right? I want it to be consistent no matter where they find you. So if you find me anywhere in my community in Hunterdon County, I'm talking about babies and bellies, because that's my message. My message goes to that 30-something mom. I want you to figure out, what is your message? What are all of the things involved with your message? So again, by the time they end up in your Zoom or your telehealth room or your office, they feel like they already know you. They feel like the office is made for them, because guess what it is? If I know that my mom is a 30-something mom with the time, energy, resources, I know what to put on my walls. I know not to put dangerous things on the bottom half of my wall that their kids can pick up and break. I know how to set my office up for them. I know that they don't have time to read forms while they're sitting in my waiting area. They just don't. They want to catch up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever their social media channel of choice is. And you guys, you better know what it is, because that's where they're going to find you. Okay. Deep breath, guys. Woo. All right, let's get into flywheel. This is really cool. Please know that all of these systems were born because Staffless started growing, and I had to figure out how to take care of my practice without spending a lot of time on it. So I created a system for it, and lucky me, I had a whole team of experts and brilliant, genius people. Great words, right, Jode? Geniuses. I had my own genius room to help me build all of these systems. And then I was like, you know what? Our clients are going to love this. If my practice loves it, their practice is going to love it too. So here's flywheel. Flywheel concept is the first time somebody sees my name as a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor in Clinton, New Jersey, I want to know what I'm going to give them, what I'm going to say to them, and what they're going to give me and say to me. This is the exchange that happens. Generally, when it's free, they're giving me their phone number, their email, and their name, and I'm giving them something that's going to help push them along in their journey of solving the problem that they're trying to solve. Then in offer 2 of my flywheel, they're probably giving me a little bit of time as their commodity, and I'm giving them a little bit of my time. There's no money exchange at this point. This is my telehealth. In offer 3, they're giving me more time, and now they're giving me money, and I'm giving them more time and probably more energy, because I'm doing an exam on them. They're coming to the office for their first visit. In offer 4, I'm giving them their first adjustment, their first care plan. They're giving me more money, more energy, and more time. So there's a greater exchange all the way around to the perfect practice member offer, the goal. Some of the clients that hire us have courses, year-long programs, shockwave therapy. They do all kinds of stuff. I don't even know what it is, but it's all part of what they offer to their community. That's the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, perfect practice member offer. If the ideal person could walk into your office right now and say, I will have one of everything, please, what would you give them? Are you prepared for that request? And the idea of the flywheel is that in offer 1, you're nurturing to offer 2 with email, text, voicemails. In offer 2, you're nurturing offer 3, email, text, voicemails, and so on and so forth. All of this is planned out, not when you're in a rush, not when you're reacting. It's planned out when you're quiet and you're sitting at your desk and you have time to really focus on this. This is the flywheel of the Staffless Practice Success System. Okay. It can include things like ads, posts, links, QR codes, something. I think my favorite thing in the practice suite is something called a voicemail drop where it looks like you called, but you didn't. Um, Sometimes I'll misuse automation and I'll drop a voicemail drop and I'll think that I have the right, this is all on autopilot. I'll think that I have the right time zone for a client and somehow the time zone got screwed up and we drop a voicemail at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's an example of how automation can bite you in the behind. Okay. So, we implemented a system in my practice because especially after the pandemic, what started happening is people would show up at my office and I'd be like, I'm so not your chiropractor. I don't do what you're looking for at all. These are my tools. I don't have fancy machines. That's what you're used to. That's what you're looking for. Let me send you to the guy down the street. So in order to protect and honor my time, energy, money more than anything, because Staffless was getting busier, I introduced a 10-minute telehealth session. And that 10-minute telehealth session, it allows me to nurture the person, teach them who I am, what the problem I solve is, have a 10-minute meet and greet, tell me about it, can I help you, am I your person, yes I am, and then I put them in my EHR program. That's how we set up my first visit intake at Light Source Chiropractic, and it's how we're setting it up for many of our doctors who hire us too, because it just saves so much time. It prevents the, I'm not your person, but you just pay me $250 for my initial consult, but do I bill insurance? And that, it prevents all of that. It also gives us the ability to nurture the dickens out of this person before they come to the office, all on autopilot. That's Lead Pilot. I'm going to skip over this. So I want you to know that you can streamline your practice efforts without wasting time and money on things that don't work. I do want to show you guys a couple of things before we go into how you can hire us. So if you're still with me, stay with me here. Oh, so many windows. Okay, so let me show you this. So this is my practice website. One of the things that we've really geeked out on over the past year is nailing the ability to build a website that feels like you, but solves all of the problems of the admin of the practice. So this is me on my website. I'm again a baby and belly chiropractor. You know that by looking at my website before you touch the mouse, okay? There's one place to click. It's here, it's here, it goes to one place. If somebody went right to my EHR program, they would see a list of appointment types, have buyers overwhelmed. They wouldn't know which one to choose. Maybe they'd try calling me and I don't even have a phone at the office anymore, and they might step away. They might go to the guy down the street, right? So first visit start here, first visit start here, welcome back, let's have a conversation here, right? This is run by an AI bot. If somebody starts a conversation here, it will riff with my AI bot. If they click here, this is a WordPress website, guys. If they click here, they go into my practice suite. This is a page that lives in my practice suite. Hi, I'm Jody. Here's 3 minutes of me talking about who I am and what I do. And then the 3 concerns around what? Time, energy, money. Okay. Is it going to hurt? That's energy. Will it cost a lot? That's time. I'm sorry, that's money. And will it take a lot of time? That's time, obviously. These are 1-minute videos. This is our Lead Pilot system. What I love most about this system is it lands in book a 10-minute telehealth to make sure that I'm your person. 2 times a week for an hour each time, I take new patient calls in a HIPAA compliant way. I listen to them talk for 10 minutes. I say yes or no. If it's a yes, we add them to our JNAP calendar when I want them to be added. Before they have this appointment, if they go to schedule this appointment, they get a voicemail, a text message, and an email. 2 days later, the day before the appointment, they get a text message and an email. 10 minutes before the appointment, they get a text message and an email. This does not see my EHR. I'll also be extremely transparent with you. So here is the practice suite. This is what it looks like. And in the practice suite, I didn't resolve. Let me just get rid of this, guys. All right, let's go back. In the practice suite, we have a conversations window. So let's say Jody Dinnerman is standing in front of me at the office and she tells me how wonderful I am. And 2 days earlier, she called and left a voicemail. And a day earlier, she sent a text. And then I sent her a fax. And then she messaged me on Facebook and Instagram and all of the things. I'm going to see the entire history of Jody Dinnerman right here. I can ask her to leave me a review right here. I can send her a birthday card from here. I can send her a voicemail drop from here. I can even call her from here. I can do this on my phone. I can do this on my computer, wherever I have a screen, or my AI bot can do it, or my virtual assistant can do it. So Lead Pilot is nurtured through the practice suite. Okay. Those were the main things that I wanted to show you. I'm going to go back to my presentation, and I promise you, if you're with me live, we're going to get to your questions shortly. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to share my screen with you again. So we've built some really beautiful things for people, gorgeous websites. I'm super proud of what our team is doing. We also take care of all the social media posts, the Instagram posts, Facebook, newsletter, all that stuff. If you are not a client of ours, this is the point in the presentation where I'm going to share with you how you can hire us. Hang out if you want to hear about it. If you're already a client or you have zero interest in working with me and my team, go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm loving you from here. I so appreciate that you spent the time with me. I'm going to spend the next 4 minutes talking about what we can do for your practice. Let me just get to the right screen. Just give it 1 minute, guys. Hold on. And if you have specific questions for me while I'm getting to the right screen, just go ahead and leave them in the messages channel here. Okay. All right, I'm going to share again. So our program is made up of 3 pillars. The first pillar is prepare. The first thing that we do when somebody hires us is we look at how is it going right now with time, energy, money? Where is the bleed happening? What do you need coaching on? Who's the best coach to walk you through that and nurture you? We also immediately, this is a new part of our program, immediately we build you a practice suite, a website, a brand kit. We get it going immediately. We've made the mistake in the past, or maybe I'm not going to call it a mistake. I'm going to say we've done it differently in the past. It was right for that time and it's no longer right, where we take our time doing the build for you, but now we go for it. We build your AI bot, your website, your practice suite, and we deliver it to you within your first 8 weeks of our program. Meanwhile, you're working with your coach on balancing time, energy, money. Once your suite is delivered and you've figured out your shediggles with time, energy, money, that's when we look at your build. That's when we build out Lead Pilot. That's when we build out your nurturing sequences. That's when we start running your suite for you with a virtual assistant. And then finally, once you have all of the moving pieces, we're also doing your social media components for you. We're posting 2 times a week on up to 3 platforms for you. And once you're ready with that, we'll start scaling with ads, with SEO, with a marketing plan, with whatever your practice needs. Every person who comes to us has a different need because everybody has a different practice. This program is month to month. We don't lock people into contracts. If you have your practice suite, you can have it forever and ever. Amen. Anything that we build for you is yours to keep. We don't take it back if you leave the program. It's yours, except for the practice suite does have a rental fee. But if we build you a website, it's your website. If we build you flyers, it's your flyers. If we build you a business card, a brand kit, a QR code, whatever it is, it's yours to keep forever and ever. Amen. So I'm going to go ahead at this point in the presentation and stop recording. If you have specific questions, please raise your hand. If you're watching the replay of this, go make the world better with great care and know that I'm loving you guys from here.